The Disability Support Service would like to welcome all our new students to TU Dublin and to wish you every success in your educational journey. Our service promotes equality of access and opportunities in TU Dublin. Our key objective is to ensure that students with disabilities can participate fully in all aspects of student life and to access the necessary assistance and equipment to enable them to fully participate in and successfully complete their chosen course of study. We welcome and support students with various disabilities, including but not limited to the following: autism spectrum disorder, Asperger's syndrome, dyspraxia, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, physical disabilities, ADD, ADHD, mental health conditions, blind and visually impaired, deaf and hard of hearing, neurological conditions, and students with significant ongoing illnesses. Students are offered reasonable accommodations based on their individual needs. These supports are put in place once a student completes a needs assessment with their learning support officer. Some of the recommended supports include academic and learning support, exam accommodations, assistive technology. Some students may be referred to occupational therapy, sign language interpreters, speed text, personal assistants, note takers, and transport support. There are 2 stages involved to complete your registration with the Disability Support Services. Stage 1. Students should first complete an online registration form. Once you submit this form, students will receive an automated reply to advise you how to book an appointment for a needs assessment with your learning support officer. All students who have entered through the DARE access route will receive an email with a link to the registration form. All non-DARE students should request this link by emailing disability.citycampus@tudublin.ie. The needs assessment is stage 2 of the registration process. A needs assessment is a structured consultation to determine what reasonable accommodations a student needs to minimise the impact of their disability on their studies. The action plan resulting from this assessment is agreed upon by the Learning Support Officer and student. The Learning Support Officer will advise on any referrals, and together with the main office, the agreed supports are put in place. The Disability Support Team may have to liaise with other departments to put these supports in place, for example, the Exams Office, academic staff, and external service providers. Disclosure is required so that the Disability Support Services can work with the student in ensuring that any reasonable accommodations required is identified and facilitated in consultation with the student. Students will be asked to complete a consent form as part of the registration process. This consent form permits the Disability Service to share student data with the necessary departments in order to facilitate reasonable accommodations for students. So what are our responsibilities? Firstly, it is important to remember that our service is available to all students with a disability, and not just to students who come through the DARE access route. Our responsibility is to assist students with disabilities to self-identify to ensure that they receive reasonable and appropriate accommodations determined on a case-by-case basis. We must ensure that all students who enter TU Dublin through the DARE access route register with the Disability Support Service. And to assure confidentiality of all information pertaining to a student's disability. So what are your responsibilities? If you have entered TU Dublin through the DARE Access route, you must register with the Disability Support Service. All other students who wish to avail of support from the service, you should identify yourself in a timely manner as an individual with a disability when seeking accommodations. You should provide evidence of disability, documentation from an acceptable professional source that verifies the nature of the disability. You should then register with the Disability Support Service and follow our service and TU Dublin procedures if you wish to obtain reasonable accommodations. And here is the Disability Support Service team on City Campus. The Head of Disability Support Services is Deirdre Staunton. We have 4 Learning Support Officers, Geraldine McCorkle, Helen Carroll, Anne-Marie Mahan and Dr. Ursula Halpin. We have 2 Assistive Technology Officers, Stephen Long and Neil O'Sullivan. Aoife Dempsey is our Occupational Therapist, and Karen Flanagan and Olive O'Connor manage our main office. We look forward to meeting you and supporting you during the course of your study. For further information, please email disability.citycampus@tudublin.ie. There is also more information on the Disability City Campus web pages for new students.